Hello comrades and welcome to my channel. A week ago I was in Armenia and every day I was in new city and new hotel. So I decided to make this video for people who are going to or maybe just want to go to Armenia or another country of the former USSR. In this video we will split up all the pros and cons and analyze the cost of the trip. So, if it is exciting, please give me to know by liking this video. Arriving to Armenia, you'll be met by a crowd of obsessive taxi drivers, but don't agree. It's quite safe in Armenia, but the salaries are low. Armenia is constantly among the top anti-ratings in terms of GDP, industry and population, decline the entry post-Soviet space. Therefore, men go to the airport to earn money. And most likely they won't tell you the super expensive price, but given the fact that prices are quite low, it will be expensive. Also, they persistently offer you their guide services. They just offer to drive you on their car or to the beautiful sites. And also, these taxi drivers have never got a change because they accept that you'll leave everything to them. Therefore, download Yandex Taxi on your phone and move freely around the city at local prices. Now will be a trash review of the first hotel where I stayed. But I want to convince that I really enjoyed my trip to Armenia and I'll definitely return and maybe return again. But I want to be fair and tell about the pros and cons. So let's look how the first hotel I stayed at looks on Booking.com. We see a wonderful 5-star hotel with a rating of 8 and 7 out of 10. Features height, large windows with luxurious drapes, fireplaces and colorful tiling works. Very beautiful and clean hotel, location is amazing, it's really amazing. Beautiful property, very friendly staff. The minimum cost for one night starts from 160 euros. You should understand that this cost is about the minimal wage for a month in Armenia. But so let's look at the reality. National Hotel. The entrance group looks good for a 4-star hotel, but not 5. The corridors are clearly old-fashioned, but maybe 10 years ago it was luxury. But let's get into the room. It seems to look good, nothing suspicious. Complimentary water, tea and coffee. My big lunch wasn't included, I brought it from St. Petersburg. Separately, I'd like to mention the wonderful location in the center of Yerevan and really beautiful view from the window. But late in the evening, deciding to take shower, I have found a terrible black mold. The mold couldn't appear in one day, so you can't push it to the human factor that personnel cleaned badly. I remind that this is a 5-star hotel. Also, there was broken a corner of the door box, but it's not so disgusting in comparison with mold. The next day we escaped from this awful hotel. By the way, I ran away in this satin pink dress. And for a moment I felt like a star of Yerevan because almost all people walking towards me looked at me. But I want to know that Armenia is a Christian Orthodox country and short dresses are commonplace here. That is, I didn't come to some Saudi Arabia in such a dress. For myself, I can explain this increased attention by the fact that dress is noticeable and undoubtedly I'm very beautiful with a luxurious figure from which is impossible to take eyes off. I'd like to note that people in Armenia like bright clothes, they pay attention to brands, although most of them are fakes. Not real Prada and Dolce & Gabbana can be easily found on the central streets what are sold in legal stores. So a man in a Prada t-shirt eating shawarma in cheap canteen is commonplace for Armenia, just like a woman with a Louis Vuitton handbag in an unpretentious beauty salon. But now let's watch the second hotel where we stayed. I want to note right away that there are tables at the reception desk where was brought a refreshing drink with lime and ice for free. What was nice. I always note such pleasures what cost particularly nothing for business, but increase loyalty. Let's look at the room. In general, a typical room well thought out by the designer. The interior in natural colors, everything is clean and tidy. Just look how perfectly I fit into it. By the way, this hotel is located 20 meters from the first one and we could see it from our window. The bathroom is standard, everything is clean and fresh and without mold. The minimal cost per night in this hotel starts from 130 euros. I can tell I enjoyed my stay here, but would I have returned? I think no. Next time I'd rather prefer to stay in something new and unknown. Yerevan. Yerevan is the capital of Armenia. We stayed there only one day, and to be honest, I'm glad that only one because it didn't impress me. First of all, we went to Republic Square. This is the main square where all the important events and revolutions take place. But in everyday life, it's just the buildings built in the circle and cars drive inside. There is nothing aesthetical beautiful or exciting here. The second attraction we visited was the Cascade. It's an open-air museum. I'll say briefly, nothing interesting. Actually, maybe Yerevan didn't impress me because I was in the wrong places, but what really impressed me was Yerevan's or just Armenians restaurants. Armenian cuisine involves a lot of meat and many restaurants even don't have fish dishes. In principle, this is logical, since Armenia doesn't have access to the sea. But in every restaurant there will be definitely a barbecue of chicken, pork, beef, and sometimes of lamb. In Yerevan I was in two wonderful restaurants. The first was Sherep. It's a mix of Russian, Georgian and Armenian cuisines. I really loved grilled khinkali there. The second restaurant was Katsin. The baked chicken I ordered was the most tender of the tenderest. On the second day in Armenia we went on car trip around the country. And from this moment, a real journey through Armenia began. We rented car from Khor's company. It was okay, no problems. The central roads in Armenia are good, but turning aside, there are a lot of bumps and pits. Therefore, I would recommend to take a hired car there. The main pride of Armenia is the highest mountain Aragats. We planned to conquer this peak, but the weather forecast showed rain and even thunderstorms, so we rescheduled everything and rushed to the south of the country. The first destination was an ancient Armenian monastery, Khor Virap, located near the border of Turkey. The monastery was built back in 642 year, and later the church was built on that foundation. The beauty of monastery is ascetic and solemn at the same time. The second destination was an Angel's Canyon. It's a beautiful trail that was created by a river, the course of which changed over time. It was incredible feelings to be there. But let's watch the next hotel where we stayed. So, wandering through the desolate countryside, meeting poor village buildings and friendly locals, we drove to one and only nearby hotel, Ralina. It's a roadside hotel, car and breakfast type, that is, people stay there to spend the night, have a breakfast and continue journey. We ended up in a cute little household with a self-made, authentic design. We were met by a friendly man, as it turned out later, the owner of the hotel, who took us to our room.
The space looked like this. I want to know that when we checked in, the owner offered to treat us with wine, but since we don't drink alcohol, he brought us water. In bathroom you can see luxury color solutions.
The cost per night was 50 euros including the breakfast.
In the evening we went to the restaurant of the hotel and we were also met by friendly owner. The atmosphere was very cozy and homely, the food was delicious, as there is no tasteless food in Armenia. In the morning we continued our journey. We decided to head to the northeast of the country. As you can see, the roads are really good, but only the central ones. When you turn off, the disaster begins. By the way, we scratched the car there, but we had the maximum insurance that covered it. So we were on our way to Ijevan. We found 2 nice hotels there and decided to stop by the first one, have lunch there, and if it doesn't impress, go to the second one. But it impressed. The main feature of the hotel is the waterfall, the sound of what is heard through the territory, but you quickly get used to and it starts to calm down. We were settled in a family wooden house with access to the waterfall. By the way, all houses are different and don't repeat. Everything here is actually made in a single natural style with the predominance of wood. There is also the second floor with a sleeping place for a child. The bathroom also corresponds to the general style.
But I want to complain that there was no hair conditioner. I suppose the owners of so hotel is men who don't understand how hair conditioner is important.
The cost per night in this house is 120 euros, but receptionist asked us don't book it on booking.com and offered a good discount. From the hotel we went to the Extreme Park Yale, located in a such picturesque place. I saw how girls was shooting there. Actually, I'd like it too, but unfortunately no one take pictures of me. By the way, the second hotel is right here. I liked it too, but we have already chosen the first.
In Extreme Park we rode on zip line. It is something like that. Of course, it was extremely exciting and strongly emotionally, but to be honest, I would prefer photo shoots.